Please stand by. Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Zen Planner Workout Tracking Webinar. Today's conference is being recorded, and at this time I would like to turn the conference over to Emily Jorgensen, Customer Engagement Manager. Please go ahead.
Thanks, Lisa. Hi, everyone. This is Emily with Zen Planner. As Lisa mentioned, I'm the Customer Engagement Manager here, and I'm excited to go over some workout tracking with you guys. I am a CrossFit coach, and I'm also a CrossFit athlete, and I use Zen Planner almost every day with a workout tracker, so I'm excited to show you a few features. Did want to give you a heads up that Austin, he's an onboarding coach, is here today. He's going to help answer any questions you might have, so feel free to go ahead and chat those in. If it's a question that we think is going to benefit everyone, we will go ahead and answer those questions at the end. So you can chat now all the way to the end of the webinar, and we'll be sure to address those questions. Here's the agenda today. We're going to begin with going over some of the basics. So, how to find your workout tracker, how to manage your skills and measures where they are. We're going to go over how to navigate the workout tracker and configure your settings, and then, of course, how to build out workouts. Majority of the people in this webinar today are CrossFit boxes, so many of the workouts that we're creating are going to be a little bit more tailored towards those. However, I know that there are a couple other personal trainers and general gym fitness companies in here too, so we will go over how to kind of navigate those skills and those measures as well. So we'll start there. We're going to go over how your members can see this information, whether it's in the gym, online, or in the member app, how to log scores, and a couple other cool things you can do. We'll go over some common mistakes and how to fix those. I'm sure that's the interest of many of you all listening today, and then of course some advanced settings. After we go over those advanced settings, we'll open it up for some questions. So feel free to go ahead and chat those in. We will go ahead and get started today. I logged into my test database. It's a CrossFit box. And the first place I want to point us to is actually this workout tracker over here on the left. If you do not have this workout tracker, it's because it has been enabled for you. It's a free feature. If you would like it after watching the webinar today, just give us a call or send us an email. We're happy to activate that for you. But it's just right here on the left next to this kettlebell. So a couple of things. When I click on the workout tracker, the very first thing we'll see is this calendar. This calendar is for programming only. Only you and other staff members that have this privilege for workout tracking can see this calendar. Your members, your athletes cannot see it. You can program in the future if you'd like to. You can program in the past. I don't know why you would, but you could if you'd like to. Before we get into programming, though, I do want to address this section over here on the top left. So right now we're in the programming view. I'm going to show you how to create a new workout in just a moment. But I do want to address this section called Measures. This is where we get most of our questions from. Let's go ahead and click into Measures here. So I currently have 72 measures in my Measures library. Measures in Zen Planner is anything that your clients, your members can log. So it could be, what's your fastest mile time, to how much do you weigh, to how fast did you complete this task, whatever it is, anything that they're entering a score for is considered a measure. You might sometimes see the word skill here instead of measure. This is actually a question we get a lot is, can I customize this word? Unfortunately, you can't. We spent a lot of the development points building out other features of Zen Planner instead of just this one thing, just because this is not member-facing. So, we decided to save that and increase some functionality elsewhere. You can create new measures from here if you'd like to. Personally, I think it's easier to build measures as you're programming. I just find that a little bit easier, but you certainly can. I'm going to go through how to build those in just a moment. Many of you might be thinking, man, there's so many, especially if you're a CrossFit box, every day it's something different. I don't want to have to create, especially benchmark things. I don't have to build those out on my own. Totally understand that. That's why we have this pre-made library over here. So if you hop on in there, you'll notice that this is actually split out by categories. You can see all, or you can see just the girl workouts or gymnastics workouts, and you can actually copy them over into your library. So if I click into this girl WOD, you can see that I've actually copied, I think, all of these over. But maybe as Hero WODs command, you do want to copy these over into your measures library. You can select all if you'd like to. Scroll on down and copy it over to your library. That's just going to populate it so that way you will never have to build that workout. It's always going to be in your library. It also means that if you copy this over into your library and one of your athletes does this Blake workout, for example, during open gym on their own time, because this measure is now in your measures library, they can log it. So that's going to be really helpful. Go ahead. There's no limit to how many things you can have in your measures library. I think my gym is over 1,000 now, so there's no like storage issues or anything like that. Go ahead and copy those over. You can also sort if you're looking for a specific measure. I'll show you kind of why you might want to do that later, and then you can determine maybe I only want to see my benchmark skills. I'll show you exactly what that means and why that's important too later. So wanted to go over those measures for you in just a moment. You could create templates if you'd like to. I'm going to show you how to build templates. Again, this is not a feature that I use too often just because, maybe this is kind of vertical specific if you're more a personal trainer and you actually do repeat from start to finish the entire workout or the entire whatever you want to call it, periodically, maybe every quarter or twice a year or something. That's a good time to use a template. Otherwise, if you're like a CrossFit box where every day literally is something different, you might not use that template section. Results is where you can see your athlete's scores. You can search. This is one place you can see them. You can also see it on their profile. Your members can see it on the member app, and they can see it on Member Connect too. This is just like if you wanted to see everyone who logged a score today, you can, of course, filter this criteria to find that. And then, of course, there's the leaderboards area. This is mostly just for you and staff members to see, who has the best whatever in whatever benchmark or whatever category you create. Unfortunately, I don't think I have any good examples in here today. I don't think I have too many, but you could see the entire leaderboard for this specific skill. Again, that's just staff facing. So that's kind of just the beginning area of your workouts. I'm going to head over back to the workout tracker. And you'll notice that I went ahead and built out a few workouts for us. There's a couple different colors here. The green workouts are workouts that are active, meaning they are they're published. Depending on the settings of this workout, if I do allow my athletes to see this workout, they will be able to see this one. They can log it. Yellow means I have not yet published it. It's just in this draft mode. You can see the color code over here. Red means that it's locked. That means that somebody's logged a score for it. I actually can't change those measures. If somebody's logged a score for it, I'll show you how to edit that later if you need to. But let's go ahead and dive right on in. Let's see, today is the 10th. Looks like I already have a workout built in there for today, but maybe we'll go ahead and build something for Monday. So you can program in the future if you'd like to. I can click Add a Workout, or I can also create a new workout up here on the top. Same thing, it's going to bring me to this workout programming page where you can decide when this workout is going to happen. So maybe I started programming it on the 15th, but I actually want to change this. You can change the name of this workout if you'd like to. This is member facing. Your clients can read what this says. My gym uses this on Thursdays. We actually have a couple different workout program. We have like an Olympic lifting workout, we have an endurance workout, and we have a a gymnastics workout. So we literally write, Olympic lifting here. And this is what your members would be able to see. In that same vein, you have to choose which program this workout should belong to. And it can belong to multiple programs. It can also belong to individual class sessions. So what I mean by that is maybe my 6:30 class that day, they're the only class that's going to perform this workout that's eligible to log a score for that. If you're a personal trainer and you have an appointment, you have a member coming in at 2 p.m. and you want only them to see that workout, that's absolutely doable. You'll just have to build the appointment in your calendar and then assign this workout to that individual session. Only that member will be able to see that workout. Majority of you probably will select, the entire program that someone will be able to do. And then you can determine when, if you would like for your members to be able to see this workout, when they should be able to see it at what time. It used to be a feature that you have to edit this every single day. We actually just added a little bit ago the option to set a default, I always want it to go the day before at 5 p.m., which I think is what my settings are. So I'm going to show you guys that in a moment. And then we get into programming. So there's a couple different sections. You might have noticed that I actually have a couple built out for us already. I'm going to show you kind of what I think is the easiest way to navigate this. If you do program, for example, your warm-ups, I'm actually going to change this to CrossFit because I think that might be a little bit easier to understand at first. So if you do program your warm-ups, for your members to be able to see. Select that section. Then you're going to move your mouse to the search box. You might notice that it says, 0 results, which doesn't really make too much sense for right now. You can create a new measure or you can add text. Why there's a search box is like maybe if I start saying, like let's go ahead and we're going to do Fran for the warm-up. Well, first of all, that's a really horrible warm-up. Secondly, why I don't really recommend doing it like this is because Fran is a measure. People are logging their score for it, and we probably don't really care for people to log their score for a warm-up. So what we're going to do instead is instead of finding a measure that's already in there, instead of creating a new measure, because we don't care for people to log their score typically on a warm-up, we're going to add a text. So we'll say, like run at 400, and then, we'll do some line drills. This is one of the bigger kind of mistakes that we see people do is people will program their workouts as text. I can't log my score for something that's text. That's why that's ideal for a warm-up, or maybe you're going to do a workout in honor or in memory of someone. You want to include information about that person. Text is the way to go. Otherwise, if it's something that you want your clients to log, it has to be a measure. So that's warm-up. You want to add a different section, like we're going to do this skill component, or maybe we're going to do strength, and we're going to do back squat, right? So that measure was already in my measures library, just so I was able to search for it. I always suggest searching for the measure before rebuilding. When you search, if you rebuild it, it's actually going to create a duplicate measure. So for example, if I said create a new measure and I called it back squat, and I built it and it was like the exact same thing. Well, now you have 2 back squat measures in your library. If I'm a member and I log my score for this back squat, and I have other scores logged for my other back squat, Zen Planner doesn't know that it's the same measure, so I actually won't be able to see my progress on that. It's really important that you search for the measure first before creating a new one, just to make sure you have it. So for example, I'm going to go back to this back squat and I'll pull it from my measures library, and then you can determine like what you want the sets and the reps to be. Another big question that we get is it looks like this description area is locked. That's because somebody has logged a score for that before. I can show you how to change that out. I definitely suggest keeping this description area blank for weighted measures, just because it doesn't really make too much sense. For everything else, for any other kind of measurement, it makes sense. So maybe we'll do like 5 sets of 4, and you can either put in the actual weight that they're going to do, 135, 95, whatever, or you can put in a percentage of what it should be. And this area right here is what your members will be able to log. So we'll say, we'll do like 75%. If you like to, you can also, maybe you're going to have multiple sets, you can add them in this way, right? So a couple ways to navigate that. And then, of course, you can create a new section where maybe whatever you want to call it. This is typically what we'll see. So a couple notes as far as programming specific workouts. You'll typically create new measures unless you're repeating a benchmark or repeating something or implementing something that's already in your measures library. You'll typically create a new measure. So you'll click Create New Measure. You'll notice that the measure name is populated here. So something to note, even though I am programming, I actually found this the other day, even though I'm programming this workout for, I think, the 15th of the month, I think is what we decided, this measurement name says 17:05:10B. So that's today. It's May 10th of 2017. That's how CrossFit headquarters kind of logs their scores. So if this is something that you think that your members will want to repeat, you will have to change the name here, make it something a little bit more memorable, or they're going to have to remember like when around the time that they perform this workout. If it doesn't matter to you, just keep it the same name as it is. Looks like Austin's answering a few questions about that, so we can, of course, address those later today too. Then you'll decide what the measurement is. So this is like how I'm going to enter in my score. If I'm doing something for time, like I'm going to do 5 rounds for time, measurement is what you'll want. And then how I'm going to put in my score is minutes and seconds. Hopefully it won't be like hours and minutes. That would be a horrible workout. And then success would be if Austin and I go head-to-head and his score is faster than me, he's going to be higher on the leaderboard. A lower time is better. So in this example, we'll say 5 rounds, 4 times. You literally put in what the workout is going to be right in here, whatever it's going to be. So just as an example, here's kind of the formatting I'd suggest. Whatever. So that's kind of how you can put that workout in. Not all of them are going to be timed, so I'm just going to run through a couple other things that we'll see. The most common ones would be Mrap. So that's if I'm going to do in 15 minutes, I'm going to do, same thing. Maybe we'll do 5. So now, how I'm going to enter in my score, Mrap is as many rounds as possible. It's going to be something plus something else. This measurement here allows me to be able to enter in that score with something plus something else. There is there's a couple other number of reps so that my score is going to be 200 and whatever. That's obviously how to navigate that. The only other tricky one is maybe with number of reps. Maybe this is actually a question we get a lot. Maybe the workout is an EMOM. I would suggest number of reps for that, and how they're going to enter their score is how many rounds they completed. If that doesn't make sense to you, don't worry. If you guys don't do EMOMs, that's fine, but that's kind of the measurement I would suggest there. We kind of already went over the weight component, so definitely just let us know what kinds of questions you have about that. But that's kind of how to programming 101 right in here. Now you might notice that I have not yet hit save at all. But if I go back to this workouts, it's saving for us. It automatically saves. If you're ooh, I actually didn't want that, you can delete it from here. You actually have to type in the word to delete to get rid of that. If this is something that you're going to repeat constantly, and when I say, I mean the entire thing, warm up through every single thing, you can save it as a template, and it will kind of lock this template in, and you can just reprogram it, whatever. It's going to save in this template section, and you can just tell it when to publish next. If you're ready to go live, you'll click Activate. Members will not be able to see it until these settings are met, so not until the 14th at 5 p.m. will your members be able to see it if you give them access to it. So that's kind of how to program 101 right there. A couple other things in regards to your workout tracker as far as settings that you can navigate. I'm going to point us down towards this display section. So the first place I want to show you guys is this options. Here's kind of the typical, here's what we'll see a lot for CrossFit boxes. Of course, you can adjust what you'd like this to say, but it says Member Connect and Member App Access. If you only want your members to be able to see the workouts and maybe view their scores, you're entering their scores for them, you'll want to select this one. The next two are similar. It says View and Edit Results for assigned workouts, and then View and Edit Results for assigned workouts and any other measure in the database. The difference between the two is this middle one. Members can log their scores, but only for things that you programmed for that day. So if it's Open Gym and you guys programmed a mile run today, but I'm going to go to Open Gym and I PR my back squat, I can't log that because you didn't program that today. So up to you there. The most common one we'll see is this one. I can log scores for anything that I've completed. So I am on vacation in California and I do Fran and I want to log that score even though my home gym is doing something totally different. I can certainly do that. I can enable social comments and likes. That's specifically on the member app. This is very engaging. I definitely suggest making this a yes. Then you can display the all-time or the daily leaderboard. So the difference between the two is the all-time leaderboard is going to show benchmark any skill that you list as a benchmark. It's going to show our grace times or whatever. Everyone wants to see who in the history of this gym has the best scores. So that's going to show anything that's a benchmark. And then, of course, the daily leaderboard is just today's workout. Tomorrow it will be a different workout, a different leaderboard. This will be published on Member Connect if you publish that. It's going to be on Member App if you allow that. The daily workout is going to be on the Faceboard. I'll show you that in just a moment. That's a couple places, and you can also see it on that member's profile in Studio too. It says, do you want to show the workout? Of course, that's if you don't want members to see it beforehand, then click no. If you click no, then those settings within that workout tracker area that's like, hey, the day before at 5 p.m. or whatever, those are irrelevant because you're not going to show it anymore. So this has to say yes, and you have to show the default publish date and time in order for that to work. Programming view is totally your preference. It's like when you click on the workout section, would you rather see it listed as a month or as a week? Totally your preference there. And then again, if you're like, I'm tired of having to adjust every single day what time my members will be able to see this, you can select the publish date and time. I mentioned earlier that sometimes you'll see this word measures listed as skills. Totally your preference. Again, if neither of those really work for you, like you'll just have to select one and just know that that is staff-facing. Your members can't see that, and that's the word that we use to help identify anything that your clients are logging. So just something to note there. And then if you do have any announcements, you can throw it in here. This announcement will publish on the workout display. That's really the only place you'll see it right now. We are working on a couple ways to push through announcements in some more visible areas, maybe like Member App. It's a little down the pipeline for us, but just know that is on our radar. I'll hit save, and that's kind of how to configure your settings there. There's two more things within this workout tracker section I want to show you before we hop into a couple other things. Down here in the display option, you can click Workout Display. So this is maybe if you want to show the workout. So this is going to be a different workout because it's today, and if you remember, we programmed that workout that we just did. That was for Monday. So it's going to show us today's workout. Here's the 10th. This is the workout that I had programmed. It looks like it's an EMOM. Everything should look correct in that it's number of reps, so that looks good. But if I go back to this workout display tab that I'd opened, this is something that I can actually put on a TV screen somewhere. And I have a really great help document on how to set up technology within your gym depending on how you want. We understand it's your business and your setup might be different than other gym setups. So whatever works best for you, I've got a great help doc. I'll include that in my follow-up email. If you want to use the kiosk app or a TV or just a computer or member app, whatever you want to use, I'll show you guys how to do that. Now this is going to show today's workout. You can make it larger if you'd like to. You can see my little announcement here. If I did create multiple workouts for today, like maybe I had an Olympic lifting workout later, I could toggle back and forth between those two workouts. If for some reason your clock doesn't work and you do want to display this clock here, you can certainly do that. We can just do like counting up. You can do counting down. You can also do kind of a Tabata. I guess that's rounds right here. I only suggest using this if you have really awesome internet connection. Obviously, nothing's worse than starting a clock and then suddenly it stopped working and you're going for time. So that's just kind of a cool feature there for you. There's one other area that your clients can see that you can display, and that's called the Faceboard. So you can actually access the Faceboard, obviously from your workout tracker down here, the display, click on Faceboard. There's one other place you can access this, and that is just by searching. So this magnifying glass, I'm going to type in Faceboard. And it's going to populate here for me. It's going to open up this new tab. And typically you'll say, I want to start the Faceboard. You can go back to workout display if you'd like to. That's the setting I'd suggest there for you. So when this loads for me, we'll be able to see a couple of things. We'll be able to see, first of all, 10 a.m. looks like no one's checked in, no one's reserved. I can see other classes that are happening today. I can see maybe the 7:30 class, and I can actually check people in if I'd like to. If people are reserved, they'll be listed here. You'll just be able to easily click on their name to check them in. Right? No, Ron owes us some money. I have that alert on his profile. So no big deal there. But that's how you can check people in. Once they're checked in, you can log scores for them. This is one place to log it. So if she comes in here and she does all 20 reps, she doesn't do it RX. She does want this to be public. RX means that she performed the workout as prescribed. If that's not a feature that you use at your gym, unfortunately we don't have a way to remove that. You'll just have to have your members ignore that. This public section, maybe Veronica is new to CrossFit and she doesn't want everyone to see her scores all the time. She can decide that she wants that private. That way she can still log her progress, and when she does feel comfortable or when you guys make her a staff member, she can begin marking those as public. She can also include any notes that she'd like to. Right, she'll hit save. And right now it's showing the leaderboard for this class, the 7:30 a.m. class. If you do want to see the leaderboard for all day, you'll click on this All People icon on the top right. Looks like I've been slacking today in putting in those scores. So let's see here. We'll put in Captain America. We'll log his score for something else. He probably did this RX. So we just have Captain America's score for 10:30, but if I click on this All People icon on the top right, we can see everyone's scores for that day. Let's see here. There's also a calculator function. If for some reason somebody wants to calculate a percentage, like you're doing back squats today and you're programmed, a certain, like 65% of their back squat's 215. They want to use this, they certainly can. They can also, of course, use their calculator on their phones. That would be just fine, but you can absolutely use this depending on if this is like a TV screen or however it's displayed. That's the face board there. This is one way that your members can see the workout. There's a couple other places that they can see the workout, depending on if you remember within the display options, if you did allow them to be able to view the workout. Two other places they can see it is on the Member Connect website. So how you can always find your Member Connect website is you'll go to Setup on the bottom left, scroll down in the secondary navigation until you get to this Member Connect section. Go to Appearance, and it's this underlined URL at the top. So that's always going to open up your Member Connect website. We do have a really great help document and video that shows you how to, oops, that's your website, that shows you how to embed on Facebook. I'm actually going to include this in my follow-up email to you guys as well. But there's a really great video, so if you do, for example, create this workout and you want it to automatically feed to your Facebook business page, this video will help you with that. Head over back to my Member Connect website. I've got this workout section here. This area, when it loads for us, is what, depending on what you allow your members to see, it'll probably most likely be the workout. So if I click on today, I have a slow connection today. So here's the workout, right? I can try to see tomorrow's, and even though, so it says no workouts posted for this day, even though I do have a workout programmed for tomorrow, the settings don't show it until 5 p.m. today. So not until 5 p.m. today will I be able to see this workout. So I can see, I can log my scores. In order to do that, I'm going to have to log in. I can click log, and it's going to ask me to log in there too. I can also see the leaders for today if you allow that. Click on leaders. So this is a member-facing website, of course. If Veronica did make her score private, we would not be able to see it there. So this is one place that your members will be able to see it. It's on the Member Connect website that can be embedded on your website as well as your Facebook page. If you need help with that, just let us know. Where you can go to find the code to embed that is here under Setup. It is down here in this Member Connect section where we just were, and you're going to go to Sharing and Embedding. All these down here are different workout sections, workout areas that you can embed. So maybe you want to show the daily workout somewhere. I'm going to copy this iframe code, and you would paste it into your website. So that's how your members are able to see that workout. There's one other place that your members can see this, and that is on the Member app. So hopefully you all can see this. This example here today, when you log into the Member Connect, the Member website, the first thing you'll see is this calendar. You can manage your reservations here. They go to the Z on the top left, and if you do have the workout tracker enabled, they can click on workouts. They can see today's workout. Can scroll down to see their score. Looks like that was yesterday. They can swipe right to see future workouts. Obviously, I won't be able to see tomorrow's because of that same reason, the settings. I can go back in the past to see maybe what was programmed on Tuesday of last week, and I can enter in scores there if I want to. If I'm like, oh, I don't remember what Annie is, there's a detail section where I can see what that workout it was. So that's kind of how they can navigate just like this calendar view from this workout section. I can add in my scores. She can put notes in here if she wants to. So when she hits save, she can see her score down here. She can also click on this leaderboard to see other public scores, and she can like and comment on them. This is a really engaging area. If she clicks on Captain America's, if she likes his score there, then when Captain America logs in, there's actually going to be a little notification up here at the Z telling him that Leslie just liked his score. So that's going to be kind of fun for them. Let's see here. They can also comment on people's scores. Same thing, they'll get that notification. On this same page, your members can actually log custom scores. So maybe, let's say I did this, but I also did kind of an extra. I rode a little bit. I can say I'm going to add this custom result. There's actually 2 places they can do this. Maybe they rode, and so you'll see this benchmark skill. This is everything that I, as a pretend business owner, have decided should be a benchmark in Zen Planner. Obviously, there's a ton more measures. So if I happen to remember the name of it, I'm like, okay, we did this on, this day. Like I can search for it depending on if you program something that day, or if you, like I said earlier, if you think that's too hard to find, then make sure you're naming your measures, something that your clients will be able to remember, or like establish a system that makes sense for you guys. I can log my score in there. That's down here under custom. I can say, whatever I wrote this in. And that'll save in there for me. So once I save a custom result, it'll say what it is down here on that same day that I did it. You can find this somewhere else, and you can also log custom results somewhere else. And where you can go to do that, you'll see we're in this daily section right now. Your members will click on library, and they'll be able to see these benchmark measures. Again, they can add new information here if they'd like to. If I click on this 500-meter row, looks like Leslie will be able to see her progress on this specific skill. So it looks like she's performed this a few times. She can actually go to this graph area. This is not a great one because these times are pretty close, but she can kind of go back and forth in this graph section to see her progress. She can add results from here too. I should point out, this looks like a question that Austin's getting, is how do you determine the benchmark area in here? How you can do that is as you're building out the skill. Let me show you guys this really quickly. Whether you're, as you're building out the skill, like let's say it's this guy right here, if this is something that is actually, as you're building it, you can go to this little settings wheel if you'd like to, and you can determine if you want this to be a benchmark or not. This is kind of advanced settings. Maybe the skill is like really technical, or you wanted to include a video on it. Copy that URL link in here, maybe it's a YouTube video or whatever it might be. Paste that in here. Your members are able to click on that on Member Connect and see what that looks like. So whether it's on your website or your Facebook page, they won't be able to link to that on the member app right now. That is something we're working on in the future. If that's something you'd like, please write us and let us know so we can add that to our feature request and complete that for you. So just wanted to point that out. So those are kind of the big items in regards to the member app. Let's see if there's any other questions or anything else I should include there. That looks like everything I had to cover there. So I wanted to go over a couple mistakes that we see, some common mistakes that we see, and how to correct them. I actually kind of highlighted one of them earlier with you guys today. So for example, what people will do is, let's say this on Monday, we're going to do this back squat, and like maybe we're also going to do Fran. Instead of searching for Fran, looks like I've already done this. Instead of searching for Fran, if I accidentally create a new measure and call it Fran and time, and like it's the same thing, right? 21:59. If it's the same thing, it doesn't matter. Zen Planner doesn't know that it's the exact same thing. So when I activate this and somebody logs their score for it, Zen Planner won't know that it's the same thing. So what that looks like for Amy, for example, is if she goes to her library and she searches for Fran, there's 2 of them in here. She doesn't know which one to log. More than that, it's also not going to consolidate her scores so that she can't see her progress. How we fix this is you go to your measures, and you're actually going to want to search for the item. So click Fran. Looks like there's 3 of them in there because I just added it. You're going to have to merge them together. I think the easiest way to merge skills, obviously I can click merge here, but something I like to see is actually to click into the skill itself, and I want to see what category it's in just to make that a little bit easier for me. I'm going to switch this category into this Girl WODs just because I know that. That's easier for me to see. I think I do want this to be a benchmark. So I'm going to hit save there, do the same thing. This is Girl WOD, that one looks good, and maybe do the same one with this one. Put this in. So I want it to all be in the same category. And then I'm going to hit merge. On the top right, you have to do this one at a time so that the system knows which thing to assign to another thing. This is why I wanted it to go into that category, just so it's a little bit easier to find, and I actually have to type in the word merge. This is really important that you do this correctly because, as you can imagine, if many of your members, many of your athletes have scores in multiple measures, you want to make sure that you're saying, yes, this belongs with this. And that way that person's scores are all going to be correct. So if this doesn't make sense, if you have any questions on this, please let us know. I know it can be a little tricky, so just keep us posted on how we can make this easier for you. But just as an example, I'll just complete this really quickly and then just show you guys on the Mrap how that will work for them. So probably Leslie here, when she logs back in, when she searches for Fran, there's only one, right? So that's the best way to handle that. Another question that we get is, what happens if somebody logs a score, like maybe, I think I built this yesterday. What if, so here's this 1,000 meter row. How this was built incorrectly in Zen Planner. So it looks like this happened yesterday. Snatch, ladder, Nate is what we did. There's this 1K row, but it looks like somebody accidentally said that the measure should be an Mrap. So obviously this should probably be for time. You might have a new staff member that maybe is programming things incorrectly as they're getting started. So what happens is Leslie comes in and she does this 1,000 meter row, and it says something plus something else, and she doesn't know what to do. So she says, oh, well, I rode this in, like 2 minutes and 40 or 24 seconds. So when she hits save, that's obviously wrong, right? Like the scoring there is incorrect. It should be time-based. So how we have to fix that is you have to go actually to your measures. You have to find this 1,000 meter row. Okay. I forget what I called it. I think this row. And you actually have to click into the measure itself, and you have to change the measurement here. So when we do that, it changes Amy's score. So definitely it's very important to do everything correctly the very first time. Let's see what that did for her. I'm using the emulator today, so I have to keep logging in and logging out. That's what that means there. But you see it like totally changed her score there, so she's going to have to go back in and make that edit. So really important that you do that correctly. That's one of the bigger user errors that we see. I've already mentioned the importance of naming your skills appropriately, so that way people can find it later. A lot of times people will just allow, they'll just let Zen Planner name it for them, but then they can't find it later. So if the Zen Planner system works best for you in that when someone's programming a workout, the skill is like the date, and it's the year, the month, and the date. Make sure that works for you and your members understand that so they can search for it. Something else that we see a lot is sometimes people will say, okay, yep, we're going to do this CrossFit workout on Monday, but we're also going to do another CrossFit workout. So it's going to be for this program. It's going to say same program, CrossFit, and they'll put in whatever the workout here is here. I'm just going to keep using Fran as an example. When I activate this, there can only be one workout for the same program per day. Like that's it. So how people get around that, like I mentioned at my gym, we have an Olympic lifting program, we have an endurance program, like they're separated by program. So that way, and your members can have access to all of the programs. That's easy. We can help you with that. If you need help with those enrollments, that's super easy. But there does need to be one workout per program. You can have multiple skills, just like yesterday. There was this particular like ladder, and then there's also this 1K row. So there can be multiple skills there, but if you do want multiple things for that same program, you'll have to, for different programs, you'll have to build those out separately. I hope that makes sense. One other issue that we see a lot is, I mentioned this one earlier, is people say go ahead and log your scores in Zen Planner, but how the person built the workout is they actually created it as text. So run, like whatever the workout is, and they put the entire workout in here. This is text. People can't log scores for that. So really important that you are utilizing that measures section. So those are kind of the bigger errors that we see there. We are kind of getting towards the end of our session here today. I do want to go over a couple other advanced settings. I actually kind of mentioned a few of them. You can, for example, if you did want to assign a specific workout to a specific appointment, that's super easy to do. You'll just build the appointment out in your calendar. You're going to add that appointment here. Whatever it is, whatever date, whatever time it should be, maybe it's going to be Thursday at 8:30 or 8 o'clock, that's fine. When you go to this workout section, make sure that you program that workout for that individual session. And that way, only that client that has access to this section will be able to see that on the member app. So that's how to customize that. I already showed you how to include a URL into a skill. So maybe we're going to add a new measure, and you do want to put a URL in there. Add that in there. Members will be able to click on that and see it. One user error that we do see a lot is people might actually have a ton of these guys, ton of workout categories is what we call that. This is not really, this is just like organizing for your members to see. This doesn't have really anything to do with reports or anything. It's just to categorize your stuff. If you don't want all of those workout sections, or if you want to kind of consolidate a few of them, that's easy to do. You actually can't do it from your workout tracker though. Let me show you where to go to do that. You're going to click on Setup. This is a lookup code. So scroll down here under Database Tools. Click on Lookup Code. This is a lookup code is how you can customize a ton of your database. So you'll just go to Workout section. You can add or remove them from here. That'll kind of help you stay organized a little bit more. Let's see here. You can also, if you don't want to use the Faceboard, or if you don't want your members to log their scores on Member App, you can log them. You can log them from the calendar. So click on that class that you're logging. Click on the class that it is. You can click Log Results here. Someone has to be checked in first. That's my fault. We'll check in Austin. And then you can log his scores here in order to do that. So that's one way to do it. You can also do it from their profile. So we're searching for Veronica. Maybe we need to edit her scores or do something like that. So we can certainly do that. We're going to go from her profile to her Progress and Results tab. You can see any benchmark workout that she's performed. Looks like she hasn't done any, so we can filter other leaderboard items for her. You can add results here. You can view her results, and you can edit them. So that's kind of the staff side there. I hope this is all making sense. Looks like Austin's got a few questions for me. Those are really the biggest items that I do have. I do understand that there's probably a whole bunch of things you guys are wanting to see as far as functionality goes within workout tracking. I'm right there with you. Like I said before, I use this every day with my gym. So if you do have feature requests, the only thing that's going to allow us to build these out for you is if you tell us what these are and also why. So feel free to chat those in, send those as tickets to us that we're able to log those for you and hopefully be able to build them. I'm going to take a couple questions from Austin. So please hold for a second and we'll go ahead and collect those. We had a great question regarding workout tracking, regarding RX Plus from Joe. So he asked, because we don't support RX Plus, that functionality within Zen Planner, the best workaround for that one. Personally, this is something that I agree with. I wish that we had RX Plus functionality, so please send that in to us. If you're listening to this and you're like, man, I would like that too, the only thing that's going to increase that vote is you telling us. So please let us know. But Joe, this is how you're going to do it. This is what we do at my gym at least, is you will create the workout. So, oh man, all of my examples are bad. We're going to go to this one next week. And we're going to do, there's going to be a Fran version. This is going to be the RX version. There's also going to be an RX Plus. So I'm going to call this Fran RX, you're going to build it out as its own skill. That way it's going to have two separate leaderboards. So you're going to see the RX leaderboard and the RX Plus. And you'll say, 21, 15, 9, thruster and pull up. And let's be really awful and say that it should be 185, 35 or whatever, 135, whatever the weights are, I don't know. That's how you'll create that. So it's two separate leaderboards. What that will look like in the member app is, I don't know if I have anything, it's going to be just like this. So for example, there's a Snatch Ladder Nate program for Tuesday, May 9th, as well as this 1K row. So what your athletes will do to see their leaderboard is they're going to see, this would ideally say Fran, and they would be able to toggle to see that Fran RX Plus there. They'll be able to see two separate leaderboards. There's male and female as well, of course. Great question, Joe. I know it's a little bit of a workaround, but that is probably the best way to handle that, just to kind of separate and give credit towards who did what kind of workout. Let's see what other questions we have from Austin. Yep, someone mentioned I did RX Plus, RX scaled, and I totally get that. It's the same workflow. You're going to have to create multiple measurements for that. So hear you loud and clear. If you could include whoever said that, if you could include your name so I can add you to that feature request, that would be really helpful. Let's see what other questions we've got. Great questions regarding logging workouts and programming workouts. One of them is especially in regards to the staff app. So far today I've shown you the member app and of course Studio and Member Connect. If you guys have ever tried to program a workout using your phone, on Safari, you know that it's kind of a pain. I'm with you. I've done it too. That is a functionality that I would personally love. So if you agree with me, please chat that in so we can make a case for that. There's no way to program workouts on Staff app right now, just like there is not a way to log scores on Staff app. Trust me, I understand how helpful that would be. I need you guys to also vote for those two so we can make that happen. There are some cool additions being added to Staff app though. One of them is a little bit of a game changer for my gym. You can now edit individual class sessions on Staff app. So maybe if you need to change the instructor on a class, you can certainly do that from your phone, or the time or the duration. I know that doesn't really have much to do with workout tracking, but it's a functionality we added literally yesterday, so I'm pretty excited about it. We have another really cool one coming in the works in the next few weeks. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to see what other workout tracking questions we have. We had a great question regarding what your members will be able to see, whether it's a benchmark or not a benchmark. So your members can actually see depending on if you allow this display setting, here, view and edit results for all assigned workouts and any measure in the database. If this is clicked, it doesn't really matter if you program something as a benchmark or not. The only thing that's different is the workflow of your members. So for example, for me, at my gym, we have, like I said, we do Olympic lifting every Thursday, and there's like a ton of like complexes that we do, like there's like snatch complex, you know, all sorts of stuff. But the only thing that we leave here in this benchmark area is like my 1 rep max per lift. Like I don't really care to see every single complex because for me those are not benchmarks. They're just things that maybe I'll repeat every once in a while. So you just have to know what that's called, like whatever the gym called it. And so if it is a benchmark, obviously I can just search for it here. But if it's not, I can type complex, and I can log my score for that. Just because it's not listed as a benchmark doesn't mean that I can't find it. One kind of user thing that I've noticed here is like you and I are looking at this skill right now. It says hang snatch complex. You know, like we could kind of guess at what that is. How your members can make sure that it's the correct one is they'll have to click on add a custom result, and then they can see it here in this detail. This might be closed. They might have to open that to see what it is. That's just a user tip there for you. Austin is mentioning that there's a lot of people voting in for things. I love it. The way to make that most clear, guys, is I need you guys to either, like if you want to email me directly, reply back to my invite. I need to see the business name, and I need to see what specific thing that you need and why. I know that's going to take a second for you to do, but that's going to make the most impact for us. So that would be really helpful. I'm going to see what other questions Austin has. A couple other questions. Right now we cannot view workouts on the staff app. You know, keep in mind that we do work with several businesses in several different verticals, so that just adding it to the member app was a big obviously piece of functionality, very engaging for your members. It has not yet made its way into staff app yet. So there's like literally nothing regarding workout tracking in staff app. Let us know what you'd like to see and like maybe even where and why. And you know, we're happy to kind of conquer those as they come. We did get a question regarding making any batch updates to measures. Can't do it to measures. You got to do it one at a time. I know that's kind of a bummer. So like if you do need to merge things or if you need to delete them, usually you'll see like this is a report I'm looking at and many other reports that says batch update, and that's how you can make those edits. Can't do it for measures. If you need help, if it's like a huge project, you need help with that, let us know. We'll see what we can do to help. You can do it for results though. Is that true? I don't know if that's true actually. You can actually filter through your results here. You can delete them from here and you can make edits. Looks like, I'm so sorry, looks like you cannot make batch updates. I misspoke there. So in regards to those kind of things, those are individual towards your clients. So let us know what other questions you have. If this is a big undertaking for you, let us know and we're happy to help however we can. Let's see what other questions we have. So we did get a couple other questions. Looks like they're kind of specific towards, you know, like the functionality and why things are built the way that they are. I don't know every single reason why some of our product built things the way that they did. So we will reach out to you guys with those specific answers. And then there are some other specific questions towards, you know, specific databases. So we will certainly reach back out with those questions. Before we close today, I did want to tease a couple things. Like I mentioned earlier, we did just allow the ability to edit individual class sessions on the staff app. There's another fun one coming down the pipes here in a few weeks. The best place to find new features is I have this new features, landing page here. And I update this. Anytime we get a new feature, there's all sorts of cool stuff in here. So here's how you can edit your class sessions from the staff app. You can add account balance, which is our beginning into gift cards, so stay tuned for that. Lots of cool stuff in here. Definitely suggest bookmarking this page. I'll include it in my follow-up email. I will, of course, send you guys this help document that's going to show you the best technology for how you want to display workouts and that kind of thing. I'll send you guys just how to embed on your Facebook page. And then, if there's any other questions you have for us, please let us know. I am looking for other ideas for future webinars, so feel free to chat those in to Austin or email me directly. I'd love to know what you guys need to hear about. And you can reach us at 866-541-3570, or of course you can email us at help@zenplanner.com. Thanks for spending some time with me today, guys. I will send the recording for this webinar later today, as well as those resources that I promised, and I will keep you guys posted on what the next webinar is going to be.